All right, 7th graders, this is to help you with question 3 on CR number 10. It says, which does not have a result of negative 13? So what we're going to do is we're going to guess and check. We're going to work out letter A. Does that result in negative 13? Work out letter B, C, D, and see what one does not result when simplified into negative 13. So let's take a look at A. It says negative, and then inside absolute values, negative 3 plus negative 10. All right, so I have to get a single value within my absolute value. So the first thing I'm going to do is rewrite my double sign as a single sign. Plus a negative becomes a minus. So I rewrite the problem. I keep my negative outside. I keep my absolute value. I keep my negative 3, but plus a negative became minus. So it's negative 3 minus 10 within absolute value. Negative 3 minus 10. You could either think on a number line. You have to start at negative 3, move left 10. So if I had a little number line over here, here's 0, negative 1, negative 2, negative 3. I would start at negative 3, and I have to move left 10. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 places over. I gotta see where that gets me to. So that would be negative 4, negative 5, negative 6, negative 7, negative 8, negative 9, negative 10, negative 11, negative 12. There we're at negative 13 when I take negative 3 and I move 10 left. I end up at negative 13. So then I have a negative within absolute value. Negative 3 minus 10 is actually negative 13. Keep my absolute value symbol so far. You could also look at this point and say, are those signs the same or are those signs different? That's a negative 3. That's a minus 10. Signs are the same. They physically look the same. You find the sum, or you add them up, and you keep the sign. 3 and 10 is 13. Keep that negative sign. All right, now I have to take the absolute value. Absolute value is your distance from 0. Your absolute value is your distance from 0. So I'm asking, how far is negative 13 from 0? Oh, negative 13 is 13 units to the left of 0. So the absolute value of negative 13 is 13. Absolute value of negative 13 equals 13. But I have this little negative running around out in front. I cannot lose that. This part in here, absolute value of negative 13 became 13, but I can't lose that negative. So the final result for A is negative 13. We want the one that's not negative 13. All righty. Let's take a look at B. So if I look at letter B, it's negative, and then I have 15 minus 3 inside my absolute values. So I carry along my negative. I've got to get a single value within my absolute values. 15 minus 3 is actually 12. Absolute value of 12 is 12, because it's your distance from 0. How far is 12 from 0? It's 12 units, happens to be to the right of 0. But I got to carry along this little negative sign. So this is negative 12. So that's the one that it won't be. But let's just, for fun, try letter C. Negative absolute value of 8 plus 5. So again, get a single value within. 8 plus 5 actually is 13. So this is the absolute value of 13 with a little negative out in front. What's the absolute value of 13? Absolute value of 13 is 13, because it's 13 units from 0. And I just got to carry along that little negative. So that one was a negative 13. This right here is square root. Square root of 169 means what times itself is 169? Well, 13 times 13 is 169. Therefore, the square root of 169 is 13. You have that little negative out in front that I have to carry along. So that's why letter D is negative 13. All right, I hope that helps.